Most people believe that building real wealth requires a six-figure salary, a lucky crypto bet, or a massive inheritance. But what if the only thing standing between you and absolute financial independence is the exact amount you currently spend on morning coffees or unused streaming subscriptions? Today, we're going to look at the brutal, beautiful reality of what actually happens if you invest just $100 a month. We aren't just looking at the math. We are going to break down the psychological breaking points, the invisible traps that cause 90% of people to quit by year 3, and the exact moment your money stops acting like a savings account and transforms into a money printing machine. The numbers you are going to see at year 20 will completely rewire how you view a $100 bill. I'm Tony, and you're watching Grow with Tony, where we decode the psychology and strategies behind building real wealth from scratch so you can finally stop trading your time for money. Just a quick heads up before we get started, I'm sharing educational concepts and my personal perspectives here, not personalized financial advice, so always run your own numbers and use your best judgment. Now, let's talk about the $100. In today's economy, $100 doesn't feel like much. It's a nice dinner out for two, maybe a tank and a half of gas, or a decent pair of shoes. When you look at it in total isolation, it feels completely detached from the grand concept of wealth. And this right here is the very first psychological trap that keeps people broke. Our brains are biologically hardwired for immediate feedback. When you spend $100 at a restaurant, you get immediate calories, immediate service, and an instant dopamine hit. When you take that same $100 and invest it, you get a digital receipt on a screen. It is profoundly, deeply unsatisfying in the short term. To understand why this is so difficult, we need to look at the first 5 years of this journey. I call this phase the trough of disappointment. Imagine you decide to start today. You are diligently taking $100 out of your paycheck every single month. You are putting it into a broad market index fund, like the S&P 500, which historically returns an average of around 8 to 10% per year. Over the long run, by the end of year 1, you've put in $1,200 of your own hard-earned cash. With average market returns, your account might show a balance of around $1,250. You look at your phone screen and you think to yourself, I skipped all those impulse buys, I budgeted, I sacrificed for $50? This has to be a joke. Let's push through to year 5. You've now invested $6,000 out of your own pocket. Your account balance is hovering around $7,300. You've made a little over $1,000 in half a decade. This is exactly the breaking point where the vast majority of normal people throw in the towel. They look at the slow progress, they get frustrated, and they cash out to buy a used car, pay for a vacation, or just upgrade their lifestyle because the perceived sacrifice doesn't seem to match the reward. It feels like going to the gym every single day for months, looking in the mirror and seeing absolutely no difference. But if you quit here, at year 5, you are walking away right before the magic trick actually happens. Let's fast forward to year 10. You've maintained your discipline. You've now contributed $12,000 of your own money, but your account balance isn't $14,000. It's sitting right around $18,000 to $19,000. Notice what is happening beneath the surface here. Your money is starting to hire its own employees. The interest you earned back in year 3 is now earning its own interest in year 10. The snowball is finally starting to pack its own snow. But let's be honest, $19,000 is a fantastic safety net, but it's not quit your job and move to an island. Money. And this brings us to the promise I made you at the very start of this video. The 20-year mark. The tipping point. At year 20, you have taken $24,000 out of your own pocket. Over 2 decades. Just $100 a month every month. But your investment account? It has rocketed to nearly $60,000. Stop and think about that for a second. You have now made more money from doing absolutely nothing than you put in with your own sweat and blood. The growth curve has stopped looking like a gentle, exhausting hill and is starting to look like a hockey stick. Your money is now working harder than you are. And here's the wild part, it's only just getting warmed up. Push through one more decade to the 30-year mark, and that same boring $100 a month has climbed to right around $150,000. Look at what just happened in that single decade from year 20 to year 30. Your balance jumped by about $90,000, but you only added $12,000 of that with your own paycheck. The other $78,000 was pure compounding, your money making money while you were asleep. This is the exact point where your gains every single year become bigger than what you contribute. Your money has officially stopped being your employee and started being your business partner. But why would we stop there? Let's say you start this simple habit at age 25 and ride it out until a traditional retirement age of 65. 40 years of just $100 a month. That is $48,000 of your own money invested over a lifetime. Your final balance, over $350,000. And if we assume a slightly higher 10% return, which the market has historically averaged over, the long run with dividends reinvested, you are looking at over $600,000. You turn the monthly price of a few takeout orders into more than $500,000. Now, I know exactly what the skeptics are thinking right now. Tony, what about inflation? $600,000 in 40 years won't buy what it does today. A loaf of bread is going to cost $20. You are absolutely right. Inflation is the invisible tax on our money. Historically, it eats away about 2 to 3% of our purchasing power every single year. But here is the brutal, undeniable truth about inflation. It is exactly why you must invest. If you took that same $100 a month and hid it under your mattress for 40 years, you would have exactly $48,000. And its purchasing power would be utterly decimated by inflation. You wouldn't even be able to survive a year on it. Leaving your money in cash or a low-yield savings account is a guaranteed mathematical loss. Investing in assets that historically outpace inflation isn't just a strategy to get rich. It is the only mathematical way to avoid getting poor. So, where does this $100 actually need to go to get these results? Because if you want this kind of wealth, you cannot put it in a traditional bank account. The banks will give you a tiny fraction of a percent while they loan your money out to other people and collect the bigger return for themselves. To capture the growth we're talking about, you have to buy real assets. For most everyday millionaires, this means buying into low-cost index funds. When you buy a share of an S&P 500 index fund, your $100 is instantly split up and used to buy tiny fractional pieces of the 500 largest, most profitable companies in the United States. You suddenly own a tiny piece of Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Tesla. Think about the power of that. When you go to sleep, thousands of employees at these companies are working night shifts to launch new products. When Apple sells millions of new iPhones globally, or when Amazon ships billions of packages, a tiny fraction of that corporate profit flows directly into your net worth. You have effectively detached your ability to earn money from the physical hours you work. You are no longer just a consumer in the economy. You have crossed over to the other side. You are an owner. But knowing the math and the mechanics is only half the battle. In fact, it's the easy half. The real reason people fail at long-term investing isn't because they don't understand how compound interest works. It's because they absolutely cannot handle the raw psychology of the stock market. Let's have an honest conversation about market crashes. In your 20, 30, or 40-year journey of investing $100 a month, the market is going to crash. It is a guarantee. It will crash multiple times. It will drop 20, 30, maybe even 40% during times of global panic. Imagine you are in year 15 of this journey. You've proudly built up $30,000. Then, a massive global crisis hits. A recession? A pandemic? A housing collapse? You open your portfolio app, and your account balance has plummeted to $20,000. $10,000 vanished in a single month. The news headlines are screaming in bold red letters that the financial system is on the brink of total collapse. Financial gurus on TV are telling you to buy gold and hide in a bunker. In that moment, your primitive brain's survival instinct is going to scream at you to sell everything, salvage whatever money you have left, and hide it in cash to stop the bleeding. This exact moment, This feeling of absolute panic is the filter that separates the wealthy from everyone else. The wealthy deeply understand a fundamental truth. When the stock market crashes, it's not a tragedy, it's a clearance sale. When the market drops 20%, the underlying companies you are buying aren't permanently broken. People are still searching on Google. People are still buying household goods. The businesses are just on a temporary discount because of mass panic. That $100 you relentlessly invest during a market crash buys you significantly more shares than it did a month prior. You are scooping up equity on the cheap. And when the market eventually recovers, and historically it always has, those cheap, discounted shares act like a massive slingshot for your portfolio's growth. Think about that in real terms for a second. During a crash, when a share that used to cost $100 is suddenly on sale for $60, your fixed $100 scoops up way more of them than it did before. Then, when the market claws its way back to where it started, every single one of those discounted shares is worth the full price again. The person who kept calmly buying through the fear doesn't just recover, they come out the other side owning far more shares than the person who panicked and sold at the bottom. The crash didn't punish them. It quietly made them richer. Consistency in the face of fear is the ultimate wealth-building tool. You do not need a genius-level IQ to get rich. You do not need to read complex financial reports for 4 hours a day. You do not need to time the market perfectly. What you need is the ruthless discipline to automate that $100 transfer every single month, through the boring times, the booming times, and the terrifying times. And let me be crystal clear about that word, automate, because it is the single most important mechanical step in this whole video. Do not leave this to your motivation or your memory. Log into your brokerage account, set up a recurring transfer of $100 on the same day every month, ideally the day right after you get paid, and switch on automatic investing, so it buys the fund for you without you lifting a finger. The entire goal is to make investing something that happens to you, not something you have to find the willpower to decide on. Because on the month your car breaks down, or the holidays drain your budget, or the headlines are terrifying, your willpower will lose. Automation doesn't have willpower. It just keeps quietly buying in the background for the next 20 or 30 years. We also need to talk about the cost of waiting. Time is the one variable in the compound interest formula that does all the heavy lifting. The biggest lie people tell themselves is, I'll start investing when I make more money. They think, I'm only 25, I have plenty of time. When I get that promotion at 35, I'll start putting away $500 a month to catch up. Let's look at the math of waiting. If you start at age 25 with just $100 a month, as we established, you end up with that six-figure fortune by 65. But what if you wait 10 years? What if you start at age 35? To reach that exact same finish line, you can no longer invest $100 a month. You would have to invest almost $300 a month. By waiting just 10 years, the monthly cost of your financial freedom nearly tripled. You lost the single most powerful decade of compounding, and now you have to work 3 times as hard just to catch up to the person who simply started early with pocket change. This is why starting today, with whatever you have, is infinitely more powerful than waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only time in the market. Think about your own life right now. I want you to mentally audit your last 30 days of spending. What are you spending $100 a month on that is actively depreciating? Or bringing you zero long-term value? Is it unused gym memberships? A daily convenience store habit? Buying things you don't even remember buying a week later? I am not telling you to live on rice and beans, and I am certainly not telling you to deprive yourself of joy. Money is meant to be enjoyed, but you do need to recognize that redirecting just $3.33 a day from temporary, fleeting dopamine into permanent, compounding equity is the ultimate act of self-care for your future self. When you set up that automated $100 investment, you aren't just buying stocks. You are buying freedom. You are buying the financial leverage to eventually walk away from a toxic boss. You are buying the ability to take care of your aging parents without going into debt. You are buying the supreme luxury of waking up on a random Tuesday morning and deciding exactly what you want to do with your own time. So, here is the question I want you to answer honestly in the comments below. If you look at your spending over the last 30 days, what is one specific thing you bought that you could effortlessly cut out to fund this $100 investment? Drop it in the comments below, because declaring it and writing it out makes it real. And if you are serious about breaking out of the rat race and want to keep building this wealth-focused mindset with me, hit that subscribe button right now. We are building this together. $100 today is a choice between fleeting comfort now and absolute freedom later. The question is, which one do you actually want more? I'll see you in the next one.